Scott, good morning. How's the voice today?
It's great, Dan. And look at you, still doing the sports thing.
Yeah.
Just plugging away each and every day. Just a grinder. Just a grinder.
Yeah, I'm sort of the Brady of talk radio, just grinding
I
it
agree.
out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're paid accordingly, just like
Yes.
Tom is.
And married to a supermodel. Absolutely. All the same parallels there. What did you expect before yesterday's game?
Anxiety going into it because, the element of the unknown. They didn't play a clean game against Houston, so that was a concern, the turnovers. But the attitude of Brady last week, and people are like, well, he's sick. I'm like, he's not sick. He's pissed off. He's ticked off. He knows what's in store. And if they protected the football, I think they were confident going in, knowing that they could spread Pittsburgh out. See, Houston had a pretty good front. They could get after you. Merciless and Clowney, the level they're playing at. But I've been around this quarterback for the last 18, 20 months, and he's been on this mission for his ability to just internalize everything and just keep it to himself. Such a class act, and it's a shame how he's been, let's call it for what it is, unfairly persecuted.
How do you think, now we know how he's treated in New England, but how do you think the rest of the country looks at Brady?
Pretty much how Mike Tomlin probably did, after the Kansas City game. I mean, the evil villains. You remember when the Yankees won in the 90s and the amount of championships and, how he hated Jeter here. And hate's a strong word. Nobody hates anybody. But I guess they're unlikable nationally. I mean, we're there all the time. Dan, I've been doing the broadcast now for 6 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
That's my sixth straight AFC championship game that I've called. I mean, that's the norm here. That's what we do. But it's Brady, it's Belichick, it's attention to detail, and hey, this team works hard, and so does this ownership group. It's a great organization to be a part of.
Are you ever muffled at all? Anybody ever say, go too far or not far enough, or watch what you say?
No, and I think I know, the type of lines you can and can't push, and hey, I face it, I do a 4-hour radio show each and every day, so there's another platform to get after some things, but I pride myself on calling it like you see it. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And that's it, man. I mean, this is life. And this team's gone through some tough stretches here, and they've handled adversity quite well this year.
What's the weakness on this team?
Great question. It's easy to really go to the defensive side and say, you know what, they can't really cover guys that well. And they had issues early in the year. And you look at that Seattle game, and you get rid of a guy like Jamie Collins. You trade Chandler Jones away. They bring in Kyle Van Noy, Shea McClellan, Atlanta Roberts. They took Hightower off the field last night. And he's the guy at the green dot calling the signals because of the matchup. They're unselfish. I don't know what the weakness is. I really don't. I mean, going to the Super Bowl without Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
But Martellus Bennett has been great. You talk about another grinder. Guys played hurt all year. I don't know what the weakness is. I really don't know. Defense is playing well.
Scott Zolak, the Patriots radio broadcaster for 98.5, the Sports Hub. But, here's Belichick. He's not afraid to trade somebody in the offseason, not afraid to trade somebody during the season. And these are defensive starters that he's not afraid to part with. And I think people thought, man, he's losing it. Like, what has happened here? Is his ego getting in the way? He doesn't want to deal with these guys who want big paychecks. We know he's not afraid to get rid of marquee players, but this is right before the season and during the season, Scott. It sounded crazy at the time.
It's crazy. I mean, you survive the stretch without Brady, too. You go 3-1, you think everything's okay. Then you go to Buffalo, you win in Buffalo. But something didn't look right up front. And whether it was Jamie Collins out of position, and hey, let's face it, Jamie's a fantastic player. He's probably one of the best athletes I've ever been around and watched play. And I've done some stuff in the offseason with him. But he's just a good kid, but something wasn't clicking up front. And whether it was attention to detail, not listening to the calls, gap responsibility, and Bill had enough. And he said, you know what? We're not going to listen. If we're not going to do it, I'm going to do things my way. And if anybody doesn't like it, get the hell out. And just the transformation this defense has made over the last 8 weeks is, everybody's going to talk about Brady and the points and legacies. And 17 years in, the Brady-Belichick combination. This defense, at times has carried this team here, especially late in the year.
Finish this sentence. If the commissioner had attended yesterday's game,
he would have gotten booed, Merce. I mean, there's been a lot said about this guy, and he should have buried the hatchet really during like a 1 o'clock Rams game or something. But the fact he stayed away has let this thing turn really into a dumpster fire. Now it's to the point where, the fan base really doesn't want to see him there in Foxborough. But, if he was there yesterday, he would have got booed unmercifully.
Do you think there could have been an incident yesterday?
No. I think we're an angry fan base. I don't talk for the fan base, but you really got to be an idiot if you think there's some sort of a physical incident that really would have taken place. And it's a war of words, and you just feel like you violated the quarterback, which. And I talked about this with the Manning stuff too, and people are like, "Well, you got this clinic, maybe Peyton." I'm like, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning have been the best ambassadors for the National Football League. When these two guys are gone, good luck trying to replace them. And just the attack that that everybody feels Brady's been under, and that's just get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, and then that's the way you get back at it.
I read and heard that Brady could be playing for his job yesterday if he lost the game. That somehow, Jimmy Garoppolo come on down. Thank God
he that one.
Just another hot take around America. I don't know.
Hey, clickbait. That's what it is now, right? You got an iPhone? Yeah, clickbait.
Do you think?
Hey, I'm on a Dan Patrick show. I'm like 920. I'm putting it out on Twitter. I'm gonna get some clickbaits, man.
Do you think Garoppolo is there next year?
I don't know how he is. I really don't, because I think the value for that type of guy. You look at a guy like Osweiler, $18 million a year. Jimmy's pretty darn good. He's damn good, and the way he was trending, especially in that Miami game, and the value you could probably get in a return. You could get a 1 and a 2 probably for him. And Tom's not going anywhere. I mean, you see any precipitous drop in play?
No.
That's when Belichick moves on. When he's got an issue with the player, or you see the drop in play, he will cut bait. There's no reason to cut bait with Tom Brady right now.
Is the fire alarm guy a hero or a loser?
A loser.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we were in a Super Bowl 2 years ago. Fire alarm got pulled 3 times during the Super Bowl week. It happens to everybody. It's like the headsets, right? Everybody thinks they come to Foxborough and you got headset problems. It happens across the league. Yeah, now all of a sudden you got first responders that are taken out of beds. You're sitting there waiting, say something serious would happen, and you take some of the people that protect us out of it. You don't pull fire alarms. It's a stupid prank.
Well, keep stirring it up there, Scott. Maybe we'll cross paths in Houston, and thanks for joining us.
Danny, we'll see you down there. Great. Thanks for having me on.
All right, that's Scott Zolak. I think I probably did some highlights when Scott was quarterbacking. That makes me old.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.